TIL that the Church of Scientology tried to take over the city of Clearwater, Florida, in the 1970s. When Mayor Gabriel Cazares criticized this, the church tried to concoct a sex scandal and stage a false hit-and-run accident involving Cazares, calling the operation Speedy Gonzalez. I don't know where this came from, but they do own Clearwater. You can test it. Sit on a curb somewhere in downtown near their castle. Soon a golf cart with well-dressed men will appear. They will tell you, "Our boss said you have to leave," and you go, "Who's your boss?" And they just ride away. As you stand there, you start to see all the little cameras everywhere, especially near any empty-looking buildings, which oddly also have the same well-dressed people coming and going through locked, unmarked doors. You mess around, they will come. Scientology is one of the most fascinating, criminal and absolutely fucked organizations in the world. The fact it continues to operate in such a public way is absolutely astounding. I live in Clearwater. They're the fucking plague here. Investors have zero interest in Clearwater. They are trying to develop the waterfront off downtown, and 50 developers said nope to prime real estate. Wonder why? If you think they tried and didn't succeed, then you've never been to Clearwater. I'm from Tampa, which is right across the bridge. They're thick in that city. There are rumors of church-orchestrated murders from Tampa Bay down to Ft. Lauderdale. They ride around on their bikes. Their little strip mall audit places are rampant. You can't throw a stone without hitting a business or building that isn't either wholly owned or invested in by the church. It's weird to see it when you have the bike Mormons and the bike Scientologists on opposite corners. You almost hope the lamest version of West Side Story breaks out. They own damn near all of downtown Clearwater. You can't avoid doing business with them, on their terms, if you live there. Clearwater PD and Scientology. https://www. YouTube.com/watch, v=xw8ete_ankate. Tom Cruise should do a movie about it. Got news. They did take over Clearwater. Source: live near there. This is how they accomplish everything. They got the IRS to label them a religious organization, tax-free status, by personally suing the IRS agents themselves instead of the IRS as a whole. I went there around 2011 for a new religious movements class trip in college. They totally did take over the city. It's a neat and kinda eerie place. Most of the city is bugged and they like to keep track of visitors. Our professor parked the van down the street and we left in groups of 2 to 3, 10 minutes apart to go the town center/museum/hotel. Our prof told us not to tell them we were part of a group studying NRMs or even that we were all together, as they aren't fond of large groups showing up unannounced, especially when the group is studying new cult/sex/churches. The problem was we didn't know that at noon a bell rings and any Scientologists eat free in the mess hall. So all of a sudden the only people left in this massive Scientologist foyer were 15 college-aged kids who were saying they didn't know each other. Their security was not pleased and did not believe our bullshit. One of the Sea Org, security monks, guys pulled me aside and said that they knew we were lying and that they didn't like being lied to. I ended up telling him the truth and we got a very interesting but slightly tense tour. I'm beginning to think maybe these Scientology folks aren't very good people. How the fuck are they still in existence? They sent spies into the US government but nothing happened. They still have their non-profit/no tax thing too. I'll be blunt, fuck Scientology. Listen to the podcast Fair Game with Leah Remini og Mike Rinder. Ex-members of Scientology who very openly talk about the cult and its horrible practices. It's fairly new, but damn, I've learned so much from just a couple of episodes. It's hard to listen to at times, but supporting their work and getting educated on the truth behind Scientology is so important. I cannot fathom how in the fucking world this criminal cabal and total scum is still allowed to operate as a fucking church. It astonishes me the shit they blatantly get away with in plain sight. Harassing former members, hounding them relentlessly, bankrupting PPL and making them sign a hokey-ass million-year contract, having rich celebrities as a huge draw. The celebrities are the only ones who live great lavish lifestyles, it seems, them and the upper echelons of the hierarchy, everyone else gets to be brainwashed, worked to death and made to stay with other handlers and made to completely cut off ties with family members and friends who don't convert, them subject them to acute mental torture. Google a Scientology audit, and they make you turn over any income you make to them. And that's just the start of it all. It's insane. And hey David Miscavige, where the fuck is Shelley? Scientology is not a religion, it's a cult, it's only being proven by this. That's why it's always creeped me out that Malwarebytes has a major office there. Are the Scientologists delving into our crypto security? And comedian Bert Kreischer's dad, Mr. Albert C. Kreischer Jr., represented the Church of Scientology in court, winning some cases for them. Lived in Clearwater. They do move in hoods. Just like Jurassic Park. Any y'all watching The Vow? The similarities between XIM and Scientology are freaking astounding, the main differences being, I think, that Scientology has billions, rather than millions of dollars, and they take their collateralizing to an extreme level. They just bought up a significant part of downtown Clearwater the last year or two. They haven't stopped trying to take over Clearwater, they just changed tactics. $103 million over 3 years. They own 185 properties, that reporters have been able to track down because they'll buy them in shell companies or have rich Scientologists buy them up then donate them. https://www. CNN.com/video/TV/2019/10/26/EXP Scientology buys most of downtown Clearwater, Florida. CNN. Besides, they control so much of downtown Clearwater at this point nobody wants to go down there. Businesses can't survive as Scientologists don't use them, and who wants to be around those weird cultists, then they buy up the property. It's a cult run by lawyers trying to make themselves as rich and powerful as they can. It's time to start taxing the fuck out of all religions. Afraid they'll get involved in politics? They have been fully involved in politics for decades and don't even bother hiding it. Scientology is a goddamn cult and needs to be destroyed. They own this town like the Holy See owns the Vatican. Fucking Scientologists, go back to Tejiak. I have family I visit down there now and again and it's wild. There's a giant fuck off compound in downtown Clearwater with the little worker bees milling around with clipboards. All of the storefronts have fake retro facades with names like The Path to Your Destiny. It's surreal and weird as hell. Tried. They did it. Source: I live here. I've worked for 3 totally different companies in Clearwater that were owned by Scientologists. 2 of the owners were big money public donors and 1 openly followed/recruited once I was hired. From what I have learned, whatever horrible things you may have heard about the church are most likely true. Tried. They own that town. Cancel culture will toss Ellen under the bus for being mean, but Scientologist celebrities roam free like they have done nothing wrong. That's BS. Can we cancel Tom Cruise? How about Michael Pena? Fuck all Scientologists. They enable rape, corruption, and infiltrated the US government. I'm in Tampa and those creeps are everywhere. They have weird billboards and stuff up trying to get you curious, and they walk around with pamphlets trying to make you take the personality test that hooks you into the cult. At the restaurant I used to work at, my boss lets all the locals put up promotional posters for their events. One was a play written by a woman who escaped the cult exposing their secret practices. A group of them came up and threatened me and another hostess to take the poster down. Now they're trying to ruin his business reputation.